Well, this is going to be our last stand game for the first time here. And hopefully we are going to win it. At least we will try. As you can see, I have a Space Marine captain with me with his Dreadnought and Chaos Sorcerer with the ability to copy a target enemy unit. I'm equipped with my Lightning Claw and the shield, so I'm the tanky version of the captain.
They will fear the Banshee's wail.
For those who don't know, Lastan has only 20 waves of different enemies, and the last has Gabriel Angelus in this map. Only 2 maps unfortunately for Last Stand. The lack of content is real for Last Stand, really. Only 2 maps and 6 heroes to use. And of course we fight against AI, not human players. As you can see on the map, there are 2 points, but 2 power nodes, but actually their function is pretty different. Instead of giving power, they increase your score. The score you get for each enemy unit you kill. And of course some of the enemy units will try to decap those points in order to lower your final score. And of course your score will, one of the multiplier will reset here, since it's based on on the amount of waves you survive alive without dying, and since the sorcerer has died, the multiplier reset. But you can revive your teammates here, as you can see, just as I did.
The enemy is capturing one of our strategic points.
And of course the waves are going to be harder the further we get.
The tide's coming.
Especially the later waves will have a super unit to back up all the other units, enemy units. Only one ability to jump, as you can see, but it's really more than enough for the marine. You don't need anything else. In my opinion, it's better to bring the healing aura instead of the dreadnought, since despite the dreadnought being good help, it doesn't have that kind of vehicle armor that you can see in multiplayer, so literally everything will damage the dreadnought here. So and you can control it. It usually follows around the user, or attack units who are attacking the spaceman in the user, but you can control it directly. And since it's a kind of a vehicle, it's kind of, it's weird to say that in the stand, but since everything damaged this Dreadnought, but his regenerating aura is pretty slow. He, he kind of regenerates himself like a vehicle, but instead he doesn't have the resistance of a vehicle. Still has the damage though, so that's why he's a good help for the marine, especially if you're not a midi marine but a ranged one. I have damage over time lightning close, so I actually need to hit the enemy just a couple of times, and the electricity on inside their bodies will do the rest by killing them. I don't mind taking these points, as you can see, because playing for the score is usually requires teammates which can stay alive, and in this case I don't have, unfortunately, so I will just play for the fun of it. Usually most of the damage type is different between the stand and the multiplayer, so as you can see, these plasma guns are doing almost no damage to me, despite the fact that squad of tactical marines have 3 plasma guns instead of 1, which would be crazy for the multiplayer, since even 1 plasma gun destroys everything in multiplayer. At least a Space Marine plasma gun. As you can see, the soldier can copy normally normal units, but regular units actually, but he can't copy super units like the Avatar or even Gabriel Angelos, since it would be OP, overpowered for the game. Still quite an easy game mode last stand. And unfortunately it doesn't give you any kind of training for the multiplayer, so it's almost like a completely different game, and that's why usually last stand players do not play multiplayer, or vice versa. Multiplayer players do not play last stand. And I think I'm actually one of the few players who actually perform well in both of them, or perform decently in both of them.
Sweep through them like a scythe through weeds.
I'm actually buffed by something. The sorcerer gives me a buff. I think it's the damage buff, 20% damage increase, I think. We must be careful this way with the Seer Council here, because the Seer Council is it's a backday unit in Last Stand. Unfortunately, it has the ability to knock back down even those who shouldn't be knocked down. It has ability knockback instead of weapon knockback. So The only thing they cannot knock back down are vehicles, like the Dreadnought, which has fallen down, as you can see, but the Spaceman will be able to recall it as soon as we have the energy for it. And from the next wave, in wave 13, you will see the first super unit of last stand of this wave, of this map, sorry, which will be, actually I will leave you the surprise for it, but you will understand immediately which will be. See, the Dreadnought takes immense damage from my lightning claw, despite I'm not using heavy melee weapon. So that kind of vehicle armor type I don't think exists in Last Stand. They just have an increased resistance, but way lighter than the one in multiplayer. And the super unit will come from here, from the corner from which the Predator tanks spawned before. And it's a swarm rod. Immense damage, but poor resistance as almost everything. And now we have to take down these zone troops, which likely for us make friendly fire, so they are going to kill enemy units as well. They are kind of an annoying unit, enemy unit, because they have a shield that absorbs damage. But again, the resistance is pretty bad.
Accept our dominion. Reap our malediction. Welcome to oblivion. Alien fiends! Aerial assault, go! None may stand against space marines.
On this wave, the threat is the Predator tank, because it doesn't have a normal a regular shot. Actually, it does knock back you down with every shot, so you must be careful, because if you are knocked down, you cannot revive your incapacitated friendly commander, friendly teammates if they're down. So you must be worried about the tank, the Predator tank. As you can see, that special attack did mean nothing, because I'm the tanky version. So you actually need half of the entire wave in order to damage me. Spaceman is one of the tankiest commander in Last Stand. Probably only the Hive Tyrant and maybe the Mechboy with these heavy armor are tougher. But the Mechboy cannot move fast around the map with his heavy armor, and same goes for the Hive Tyrant, since he can't jump or run or anything like that, while the Spaceman can. Sprightly, 15 energy to jump, but it's worth to have it. As you can see, I have 50 energy by default. The default health is 100. I increased it, but I increased it to 200 due to my armor and the shield.
Enemy fire.
Aerial assault, go! None may stand against space marines.
Allied infantry destroyed.
Aerial assault, go! Their base sealed.
The enemy is capturing one of our strategic points.
Aerial assault, go!
And here's the second super unit, which is the Newark battle wagon,
To enemy fire.
None may stand against space
which
marines.
isn't really a problem since his damage isn't that great either. As you can see, it goes down really fast. The friendly Dreadnought can special attack the enemy units, as you can see here, and both stun and heavily damaging them. So it has some kind of usefulness with his abilities, but of course you can't trigger them with any button. They are actually used by the AI. I don't know following which kind of pattern, but sometimes he uses the special attacks. Maybe when the Space Marine user is heavily attacked like this, I don't know. It's kind of a mystery how the AI works in this game.
Allied infantry destroyed.
And here's the same problem with the fire prism. You have to take them down really fast since they can knock back you down with their shots, which is actually what they would do in multiplayer as well. And the third super unit is the Avatar of Cain. Incredible amount of damage like the Swarmlord, and tougher than the Swarmlord, but still really vulnerable, as you can see. Explode on that, not damaging but knockbacking you down. Those bloodletters are terrible, in the form that they make an incredible amount of damage. You must be really careful with them, and they can use special attacks. Unlike the other map, Bloodletters, the Colosseum one, they cannot teleport on you, but they can run and heavily damage you. So you must be really careful with them.
Losing forces to enemy fire.
I'm hitting my allies, my nearby allies, with every strike, so it's kind of support my teammates here.
None may stand against space marines.
Actually, the cloned bloodletters could teleport on them. I don't know why. The enemy bloodletters cannot, but the cloned one can. Something I wasn't aware till now. Never noticed it. The fourth super unit, of course, was the Great Unclean one. Not great damage, really poor resistance, but a hell of a lot of health and some kind of annoying special attacks from him. Next wave is the Imperial Guard. You must prioritize the stormtroopers in this wave in order to prevail easily. or not by the skin of your teeth, since the stormtroopers actually are the units which deal more damage in this wave. The Ogrins do not. There are tons of Ogrins, but they are actually just an annoyance. They don't do any damage, and Lemaras is really weak. You take down him very fast. Now the Baneblade, which is weak as well. The only problem with the Ogrins is that sometimes they are a problem for your pathing. They cannot let you move around, and that's why I will also take the jump with me. At the end of wave 19, some players do not know, but the sorcerer must stay in the corner, since he will be the only hero which will not be teleported inside. So, and war him. Otherwise, he will be at the mercy of Gabriel Angelos and his Terminators.
Scorch the earth and all who stand upon it.
I don't know why, but Relic decided to left the sorcerer outside the corner. Maybe because he can use the warp to teleport around. But yeah, some questionable decisions. These Terminators are actually really dangerous. Our hope is that our friendly Dreadnought will stun them. The stun, as in multiplayer, or the same for last stand, is the most dangerous of the Terminator's enemy. And Gabriel Angelos here is a threat, since his special attack deals immense amount of damage, but other than that, it is not a problem. On this wave, which is the last one, you have to prioritize the Predator tanks again, for the same reason of wave 14. They can knock back you down with their shots. Actually, even assault marines can knock back you down this time, but they are not as damaging unit as the Predator tank. Once we have dealt with these tanks, we should be fine. The last super unit is the Land Raider, which for some reason takes bonus damage from the rear armor, unlike every Land Raider. And the threat with him is the Meltagun, as you can see here. The Meltagun is the only damaging weapon of the Land Raider, but it deals a huge amount of damage. Not on me, since I'm kind of tanky, and I think it has a kind of weird problem with this accuracy if you stay at the really close to the Land Raider. But we managed to take him down, and I take the last victory point. And here's victory. We did it. GG. We are victorious. This is last stand. It's pretty easy game, as you can see. If you use the correct build, of course. This is the final score. And that's all. Thanks for watching.